Would you talk about the reticular activating system and how you use that to manage activity and focus?
So I'll talk about something that happened for me recently. About 6 months ago, I decided to buy a Jeep. And I'd seen Jeeps before, but I never really thought about them. But once I made the decision to buy a Jeep, I started seeing Jeeps everywhere. I saw one in every parking lot, on the highway, everywhere I went, there were Jeeps. And there are a lot of Jeeps on the road. I never realized this. The reason I didn't realize it is because it had no value to me. It wasn't important. But once I made that decision that I was going to buy a Jeep, my reticular activating system kicked in and started pointing Jeeps out to me. The reticular activating system, or RAS, is this bundle of neurons that are in the most primitive part of the brain. They're the gatekeeper. They filter information in terms of what's going to come in to our conscious focus and what's going to be filtered out. You're sitting here in the room right now, and you probably are not aware of most of what's in the room, every stud and every nail or whatever, every light. You're probably not paying attention to that. You're probably just paying attention to me because I am what's part of your focus, and that gatekeeper is making sure that you stay focused on me. The reticular activating system is responsible for a lot of things, things like our heart pumping, some of this activity that we don't really pay attention to, for wakefulness, but it's also responsibility for habituation. And habituation is this weird thing where we start doing something without paying attention to what's going on around it. So the reticular activating system allows us to filter out unnecessary information, focus on what's necessary, and to habitually do things a certain way, which is very efficient. It saves us lots of energy. And humans, our brain uses more oxygen and sugar than any other part of our body. And so the more efficient the brain can be, the better chance our body has of surviving, because we don't have to eat as much, we don't need to feed the body as much if we reduce the amount of energy that our brain uses. So this is a highly developed part of our brain, but we can control the reticular activating system by putting things in it. For instance, every morning I listen to a recording, and that recording basically reminds me what's important and goes right to the RAS and says, hey RAS, health is important, your friends are important, doing this thing that you're doing with this business is important. So through the day, I'm focusing on things that are related to that and filtering out things that are not. So if we learn to build habituation through the RAS, we can really control our behavior at a high level. Hi, I'm Ed Mitchell, CEO of Intent One. We really appreciate you taking time out to learn from our content. If you're interested in more, you can find us at intentone.net. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.